What is up, guys? It's your boy, Warden's Cactus, and today we've got some brand spanking new Destiny 2 news, courtesy of the Bungie weekly update that has just gone live, revealing official information. And this week, it's been pretty crazy, and so let's get started. But just before we do...
Okay, we're gonna start. I'm gonna grab the first sword. I'm gonna shoot you and grab up. What is that? What are you doing?
You told me to clean things up for the next damage phase, so...
I can't, I'm done. I just wanted you to be there. Just be present and don't waste all the reses.
You didn't even shoot the oversoul.
I can't.
This video is brought to you by Manscaped and the Handyman Compact Face Shaver, who says great things can't come out of small packages.
Just like you.
What? Now, the great news about the Handyman is the dual blade feature. So you have the long hair leveler, which can tackle up to 3 days of hair growth, and the standard foil shaver to get things close and really clean. I use it personally to try to get those random scraggly beard hairs that go up towards your eyeballs for some reason. If you have a beard, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The best part is that when it really compacts down, it's the perfect thing to throw into a suitcase, bring on an airplane, travel with, because hey, you forget for a few days, no big deal. Use the long hair leveler to get things going down and the full shaver to finish things off. The perfect tool for the guy on the go. And if you want to get this for yourself, well, click the link in the description down below. You're going to get 20% off your purchase and free international shipping. Definitely check it out, guys. Alright, now first things first, what's been going on this week for Destiny 2? Well, initially, a lot of drama and anger from the community. And this all stems from the fact that, as you can see right here, the old Season of the Worthy cosmetics are now available to buy within the Eververse store. So what's the problem here? I mean, if you missed out on the original Season of the Worthy, which happened years and years ago, you can now have access to these admittedly cool-looking cosmetics. Like, why are people upset? Well, take a look at those prices, because all of these items were originally included in the Season's Pass for Season of the Worthy. So if you paid 1,000 silver, or around $10 US, you got all of the different cosmetics you see here, as well as a wealth of other content that of course actually happened within the season. So it turns out, guys, if you want to purchase all of these different Season of the Worthy cosmetics, the total is up to, I believe, $89. That is 9 times the original price of the entirety of Season of the Worthy. Now listen, I live in Canada, okay? I'm used to inflation and rising prices, God knows, but I might not be an economist, but something doesn't seem right here. A 9 times increase in overall price for a bunch of cosmetics that you made years ago and you just have sitting around and you just make them available for sale again. So as you can imagine, the community was not happy. So in fact, retweeting the Destiny, the team official account announcing these things, Jarv here said, but they cost more than the final shape pre-order. That's right, the Season of the Worthy cosmetics, you're better off pre-ordering the entire massive final shape expansion. Another tweet here that caught traction, $90 for everything. We paid $10 for it originally. Yeah, and a lot of people saying, what is this? Another tweet, as someone who already has and loves this set, this is really gross. People should be able to get these for investing some gameplay time to get Bright Dust. That's right, no option to purchase with Bright Dust. I'll reply here to that tweet. 8,400 silver, $80 for items that were rewards in a $10 Season's Pass is honestly asinine. Can you be open and honest about these items ever being sold for Bright Dust instead before you make players spend unnecessary money? Feedback, make old season stuff earnable in-game. What a novel concept here. And another tweet here that really caught on. Limit the time players can earn items, which is FOMO, okay? Remove the items from the game so they're unobtainable. Wait, put the items back in the game at 8 times the price. Pretend you're doing a good thing. Pat yourself on the back, I don't know, Profit, right? Well, certainly the profit point was a main incentive in this choice. And the last tweet we're going to look at here, season passes were like $10 with shaders, materials, and 3 sets of armor for each character. Now a single emote here is the same price as an entire season's pass. This is pretty bad. Imagine paying $89 for only the season's pass cosmetics only. Like, geez. And yeah, that's the overall sentiment of what is going on here. Players just trying to do the math in their head on how the heck you could justify an 8 or 9x increase in price for these cosmetics. It is just crazy. And you have to wonder, like, who is this targeted at? Well, it's targeted at relatively new players who weren't around for Season of the Worthy. And it seems to just be Bungie throwing it out there for the whales. You know those people who absolutely drop bank on cosmetics within game and they don't care what the price is. Those people are clearly who Bungie are targeting, but I feel like overall you'd sell a lot more if you offered a fair price, or again had the option to purchase with Bright Dust for players who didn't want to have to spend silver. Now of course you don't have to do anything, it's all completely optional. It's just another example in the unfortunately long list of Bungie seemingly milking Destiny 2 in order to fund their other passion projects like Marathon or one of the seemingly 10 other games they're working on right now. And it's really sad to see. They could have set these at a reasonable price or had a Bright Dust option and players would just be happy that these cosmetics are returning. Instead they had to go the ultimate greed route, which unfortunately they seem to go a lot. Hopefully, they can start to find their way. But regardless, the next thing that happened was only a few hours later after reset, Bungie enacted an emergency update on Destiny 2 to change the Nightfall rewards. Originally, it was the Heist Battleground Europa as the Grandmaster for the first time, I do believe, and it was double Nightfall rewards, but it was dropping the Swarm machine gun. Potentially to kind of cover up for all of the player anger, they made it so that the Warden's Law is now dropping, and the Warden's Law is a very exciting weapon. It's actually the first in a new damage archetype for hand cannons, the Heavy Burst archetype. So every time you press the trigger, as you can see, you're going to shoot a 2-round burst. And of course, this leads to some pretty unique properties, unique interactions with perks, and regardless of whether or not this weapon becomes super meta, it's very desirable to get a weapon that's literally the first and only of its kind, not counting the original Warden's Law from Forsaken. So, of course, I have done a complete guide on how to beat the currently available Grandmaster Nightfall so you can start farming this thing, and I also did a video going over the potential roles and attributes this weapon has. Alright, now moving on from there guys, let's talk about the brand new information within the TWAB. Now, right off the bat, something pretty insane is that legendary shards are going away, with the Destiny 2 economy team citing just massive discrepancies. Like, if you're a veteran player, me, I have 30 or 40,000 legendary shards, and I haven't even exploited, like, ever. I just played the game a lot, and there are exploits that randomly pop up for a few hours, and if you do them you get thousands and thousands, and if you're a brand new player you only have a couple hundred, so it just really makes kind of a weird economy. And they say starting in season 23 they're going to start to depreciate legendary shards. So as you can see, here is a table with the new costs of these certain things. So you can see new ritual weapons just cost an engram. Then you're going to have these glimmer costs, as well as ciphers for Nightfall stuff, passages for trial stuff, and they say specifically with the release of the final shape, legendary shards will no longer be in Destiny 2. We will be removing all of the remaining legendary shard sources and costs from the game, which includes collection, trials passages, rituals, vendor purchases, and many more. To be totally clear, we will not be offering a currency exchange for stockpiled legendary shards. The goal in removing legendary shards is to make Destiny 2 a more approachable and fair experience for all players. This is why we're not raising glimmer prices for items or adding replacement costs to things that previously needed legendary shards. So that logic kind of does make sense. Like, if the reason they're concerned, the reason they're doing this is because, you know, I have 40,000, right? If you're now giving me some sort of new currency or exchange for my 40,000, I'm still up. So this is obviously going to impact the game in a big way because so many things involve legendary shards. In fact, here are the new dismantle rewards. As you can see right here, you're going to get a glimmer and potentially enhancement cores and stuff like that, as well as reputation. And then Bungie talks about a few things specifically. They say, you may note that ships and sparrows are not in that table. This is because we plan to remove the cost to pull these items from collections. Awesome. To allow players to freely change up their style when they please without worrying about spending currencies. That's really great. Then we also obviously have the interaction with Xur. So Bungie says, as Destiny 2 game director Joe Blackburn has mentioned, the final shape will see everyone's favorite Jovian Xur receive a bit of an update. We're not ready to pull back the curtain on all that quite yet, but just know that with the removal of legendary shards, Xur will be looking for an alternative form of payments for his wares. So I think they did mention that strange coins or something of the like will be returning with the final shape, and how you earn those, of course, could vary greatly. I really hope if they're going to introduce a whole new currency, strange coins, and they're hard to get, like in the original Destiny 1, you had to do nightfalls, I believe, like harder than normal nightfalls to get strange coins. Like, they did not come freely. If they do that, I hope they also juice up Xur's wares, like more god rolls, more 68, 70 stat exotic armor to actually incentivize you spending this new potentially rare currency. But we're gonna have to wait and see. Moving on from there, guys, Bungie provides this table about Crota's End, the numbers, like the amount of Guardians that entered and the total hours spent in the raid, all of that stuff. Pretty interesting. Moving on from there, speaking of Crota's End, they said that they're going to improve the drop rates for essences. So essences of the Oversoul are needed to complete the Necrochasm quest and its catalyst. Now, it turns out that they drop kind of randomly, and it's going to take players literally months in order to get everything done. So Bungie says we're making some improvements when update 7.2.0.4 arrives on September 19th. For starters, your first clear of Crota's End each week will now provide 2 guaranteed essences of the Oversoul, the guaranteed weekly drop from defeating Crota, and an additional guaranteed drop for beating each encounter in order from start to finish. Then, every time you do a full clear, you'll still earn that additional guaranteed essence, so there's now a way to farm them. We're also increasing the drop rate of random essences of the Oversoul for repeated clears for each encounter, so you can earn even more per try. Finally, we're adding the chance to strike it lucky and earn all of the essence necessary to complete both the Necrochasm quest and the Catalyst when taking Crota down doing a full run. Just like getting the exotic drop in previous raids, you can now get the whole deal if fortune smiles. So basically just do the raids and you're going to be getting a lot more Oversoul, and some people are just going to, the guy, the person who does it first try is going to get all the Oversoul just with one completion. Now, continuing with the Crota's End raid, some very important additions. The first weekly challenge along with master difficulty are both going to start on September 19th, which is the next Tuesday after reset. And Bungie says this weekly challenge will rotate every week and ask you to complete a hidden objective each time to earn a second reward when you finish a given encounter. Now, as for the master difficulty, Bungie says each week the armor drops you will get will have a particular stat focus. So you'll actually have like a discipline focus week. So if you want juiced discipline armor, that's when you farm. Additionally, you'll get an adept weapon with 2 perks in each column. As we implemented with the Root of Nightmare's adept weapons, the weapons you get in Crota's End can also allow you to enhance their perks. The adept weapon you get is random but drops work on a knockout system. You will get a new one with every challenge you complete every week until you have unlocked all of them. Alright, but moving on from there, we have some new PvP updates coming in Season 22 and 23, and they're going to address specifically what those are in a bit, and also they have a section called This Is Just a Tribute. As teased previously, we've been working on a new Iron Banner mode that will go live in Season 23, next season. Tribute is a supremacy-based mode where players will be able to deposit crests at Tribute stations to earn points for their team. Banking many crests at once can trigger a hunt phase, which activates a special Tribute station and increases the value of all crests deposited for 1 minute of glorious, chaotic gameplay. Take care, as other Guardians won't be the only things guarding these high-value Tribute stations. Kato will be watching Guardians, so let's show her what you're made of. So, similar to the game mode where you have those Cabal turrets, it sounds like that's going to be part of this as well. Additionally, they're bringing back a Dreaming City map, Citadel. Alright, now moving on from there, Bungie actually reveals the mid-season Sandbox update coming later in Season 22, as well as a Season 23 PvP-focused update. So here's what's coming later this season. For the Antius Wards exotic legs for the Titan, these will now require a full class ability energy to reflect incoming damage. Reflecting damage will deplete your class ability energy, so you can't just like spam a slide over and over and over again. Moving on from there, the young Ahamkar's spine, we are reducing its impact on grenade uptime by making it grant energy on final blows instead of pure damage. Alright, now moving on from there for Season 23. For submachine guns, we will be globally increasing the recoil on SMGs to make it more of a costly trade-off to spec into range over stability. For snipers, we'll be implementing a sniper rifle body shot nerf in the Crucible, details to come soon, and sniper rifles are getting a damage buff in PvE, so this will be offset by that. Okay, very cool for as a PvE player. Now, fusion rifles, we'll be decreasing the kickstart damage bonus, and damage will also fall off harder at longer ranges. For airborne effectiveness, we will be increasing the airborne accuracy of sniper rifles and slug shotguns to be equivalent of the pre-airborne accuracy Icarus at their base values. For Peregrine Greaves, these now only grant bonus shoulder charge damage after being airborne for a short time. The goal of this change is to ensure Peregrine Greaves users are visibly airborne to other players in order to benefit from the exotic effect. In PvE, these will now provide significantly more bonus damage and refund your melee charge when used against champions, tormentors, and mini bosses. That actually sounds super fun. I'm definitely going to make a Peregrine Greaves build when that actually comes out. Now, for the Syntheseps, we are removing the extra lunge range. To compensate, we are adding improved weapon handling and reload speed when you're surrounded, and we are also walking back some of the nerf to glaive melee damage as well. And they say there's more things that are going to be updated in Season 23. Very interesting there. Damn, Titan's really getting hit a little bit here, but it is what it is. We are the best class, so if Hunters and Warlocks want to cry, this is what's going to happen. I'm just kidding. Now, moving on from there, they say that Checkmate is going to enter the Crucible Labs playlist. You can read that right here, as well as they say win-win situation. Last Thursday, the Destiny 2 update brought a change that we feel is worth reminding you of. So Trials is coming back starting tomorrow, and every match you win has a high chance of dropping one of the weapons currently available in the loot pool. That would be the non-regular, non-adept version of those weapons. Here's a list of what's dropping as a reminder. So they say during this weekend's Trial of Osiris, Igneous Hammer will be the adept reward for those capable enough to reach the lighthouse. Iggy has some fancy new perks like Incandescent for scorching enemies and Far Away and Fragile Focus for those looking to make this a stat monster. But moving on, guys, the last thing we're going to talk about is the Crota's End 48-hour challenge debacle. So what happened was that a lot of teams actually defeated Crota, but they would kind of be dead at the same time as Crota would die, like they would kill each other at the same time, and then sometimes it would bug out and not give them the triumph and the emblem for defeating Crota during that challenge. So a lot of people were kind of screwed out of a completion, but as you can see right here, Bungie is like, they're making a list of players who did this, and they're checking server flags and all this stuff, so they say it might take a few more weeks, but you should, at least from what this seems to say, get your triumph and your emblem that you were deserved if that did happen to you. So guys, that's it for the video. Hope you enjoyed and found this informative. If you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickCacus. That is linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.